Why is the testing so important now compared to, say, 10 years ago?
When we were building apps for the last 25 years, we were building apps for employees. You know, they were accountants or finance people years ago, and then they became kind of department heads. Now we're going directly to the consumer. And our apps are really our sales channel. And so when you go to a restaurant, you want to have great service. When you go into a store, you want to have great service. Well, customers want that, consumers want that online. And so what we've been able to see is that if your site is slow, or if you can't navigate around the site, people leave. And there is many studies now, but you know, there's $1.2 trillion that is done online every year. And customers with big brands, whether it be Nike or Apple or any of these guys, they want to make sure the user experience is good. So when you go directly to the consumer and it's e-commerce related, performance matters more than it ever has, and that's what we do. We make sure that those sites work. In the past, if I wanted to test an application, I was only going to test scale by how many servers I had in my lab. Now, we have the largest test platform in the world, and every developer could literally generate or simulate 1 million users hitting their website or their mobile application within minutes. I mean, that's just, and for an affordable price. And, you know, that's just an amazing difference. And so it's really gone from building a back office infrastructure to build a company on top of it to not having any servers or any mobile devices, but having access to millions of servers and devices. So when we do the testing for the Olympic Games, as an example, we're just coming off of Sochi and we did London, and we've just got a contract for 10 years in the future. The Olympics is one of those global events that millions of people buy tickets to, and we need to have thousands of servers to be able to simulate people in Tokyo and Shanghai and Beijing and London and Munich hitting that website, because we want to make sure we're replicating the user experience of where these folks will be coming from. And it's just really powerful that it allows smaller companies to look much bigger than they actually are.
What will you be testing for 10, 20 years down the road?
When we were given the 10-year contract, beyond the revenues of the contract was, so what will Tokyo 2020 be testing? And so when you start thinking about mobile and the future of IoT, you know, think about Tokyo. Toyota is advancing driverless cars. So I envision that driverless cars are going to be transporting athletes from the Olympic villages to the venues. I envision when you go to Tokyo, you know, it's a little sensory overload for us in the West because we don't understand kanji characters and the language. But if you put on Google Glasses, what if everything's in English? So translation services associated to it. So it's you know, for me, the Olympic Games in the future will be the platform for emerging technologies. It is where we will all begin to embrace these really cool, and so you're going to see a lot of sensors around clothing, a lot of performance related, a lot of translation related services that will be debuting in the Olympic Games as we go forward. There's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur. That I think everybody has said for the last few years. I've never seen such a transformative period of time, and I've been doing this for 37 years. So I've seen going from mainframe computing down to client server, but going directly to the consumer, selling things through the internet. That means that you have to have elastic architecture, so cloud computing becomes very popular. Mobile is everybody's buzzword right now because you have to have a tablet or phone. You got to be able to reach people with tablets and phones. And we're not that far away from IoT. You know, I just came back from Barcelona at the Mobile World Congress, and most of that event was about the smarter cities, or how do we incorporate sensors through our daily life. And so how will we test those going in the future as well? So as you reach the consumers are mobile, they're moving, they're global, they're high scale. You've got to make sure that those applications work, or people will move on to another site. They're 3 clicks away from another site.